All right. I think I was waiting for it, but just stuck on horror and then just continued.
That's
So
a good lead up.
that's a thing.
Oh, but you know why it did that? Probably because this weekend was the Bram Stoker's, which is the premier horror award.
So it's just like
So yeah, so it really wanted to
focusing
make
on
sure
that.
we understood
Absolutely.
horror.
Horror.
Yeah. And so, hi everybody, Angela Eureka Smith here, editor-in-chief of Space and Time, with publisher and editor of the magazine, Ryan Aussie Smith.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about two stories: The Last Beacon of Shattered Light by Deborah Tiller, and of Unknown Colossi by, I forgot. I'm waiting for it to
Sorry,
click over, by
Chris
Chris
Nelson.
Nelson. I was like, it's a really simple name. I know this
Yep,
name.
yep, yep, yep.
But a couple announcements before we start. First, it's going to be probably a pretty fast podcast because hopefully you can't hear it, but you might be able to. We live in an apartment and they decided to do work outside the apartment building right now.
Yes.
So that
Which
is
is
going on in the
great.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little unnerving, so hopefully it's not coming through the microphone too much, but it's certainly coming through to us right now.
Mm.
This issue that we're waiting for June is coming. We are just waiting on a couple of pieces of the poetry to be finalized, and we are going to be releasing that. And I'm very excited because we have such amazing stories, and the way it's going together
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Every issue is better than the last, which is why I think I can always say, this is the best issue ever.
Yep.
It's like good. I'm always telling the truth with that. So one of the things that is going to happen going forward, which we can probably do retroactively too, is we have a shop, opportunitiespress.com. I should say a website, but everything is in that spot. So we have a new home. And if you go to opportunitiespress.com, now we're going to be able to offer the contributors a discount to buy copies on their own so that they can resell them if they want or give them away or whatever they want to do. We're going to be able to empower our contributors. So that'll be with this issue that starts, and we'll start testing it out. But I'm really, really happy with how this has turned out. If you are looking to go direct sales and you're looking for, take a little charge and do wide, publishing wide or anything like that, I'm using PayHip, and I will put that link in this description. And I definitely recommend it. This has turned out to be beautiful. In fact, I'm planning a workshop where I teach people how to put together their PayHip store because I am like a huge believer in this.
Yeah, this came across really well as well. So we changed it up. It used to have all of the different versions from left to right, but that was getting a little bit cluttered as opposed to just the space and time issues. Now, if you want, say, dyslexia, or if you'd like the large print, you just select it. Then you go down and you can select your edition.
Yep.
In the drop down, and we're thinking of moving this up a little bit, potentially in the phone website page, because it kind of gets lost with the amount of writing in it. So like potentially popping this up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just select which version you would like, and then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, and starting with 149, that one will also have a dyslexia friendly and large print edition.
Yeah.
Gonna be working on that as soon as this one gets out the door.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say the shop is looking really, really good. And yeah, it's coming along nicely. It's like super simplistic as well, which is perfect because websites usually are just confusing.
Yeah, and the good thing about this is soon every issue of Space and Time will be available from number one back in 1966. And we're still putting a lot of material in here. I think I have about 200 books that I need to add to this.
Yep.
Not all mine. It's books that we've published over the past, but we're getting them all reformatted in the dyslexia-friendly large print, ebook, and standard print to release again. So.
Okay. So awesome update there. So now we're going to talk about Last Beacon of Shattered Light by Deborah Tiller.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about of Unknown Colossi by Chris Nelson afterwards.
Yeah.
So Last Beacon of Shattered Light. What were your initial thoughts?
Loved it. And it goes so well with everything else in the issue because it's like a very fun, we're not going to give spoilers. You have to read it when it comes out next week or maybe even this week. But it's such a fun story, and it's my goodness, there's so many things I want to say that would be spoilers. Um,
There's people that do things, and the things are
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like one of those things of what do you appreciate in life
yeah,
is not always what you would think to be appreciated. There is a theme of freedom and what will you do to keep your freedom, or, what will you sacrifice and what will you give and why? I'll
mm,
just say that in
yeah,
here. But it's also very fun and it involves shattered things, as you could tell from the title. And I
yeah.
always love a good shattered something that shines light everywhere.
Yeah. What I like as well is whenever you're discussing, I mean, there is a madman in this
Hmm.
story, and just the perception of are you the villain? Are you not the
Hmm.
villain?
Yeah.
And it's questioned in this just a little
Yeah.
bit of you know, the feeling that I got is a little bit corporate. Corporate is always the villain, but then you've got a
Hmm.
madman that's taking things too far
Yeah.
in, and that's a constant thing. You've got those like environmentalists and stuff like that, and then there's
Hmm.
always one that takes it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
I see you smiling
I
in that situation.
wasn't rooting for the madman in this.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
am.
But and then that is why, yeah, sometimes violence and sometimes like extremism, it hurts the
The
overall.
people that
Yeah.
you're trying to help.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really, really interesting story. I feel like if I was going to say anything bad about this, I feel like it finished too quickly. It
hmm.
had like a big build up, and then it
Yeah.
just finished. But that's kind of the thing with it's
Flash
the
fiction.
balance
Yeah.
with flash fiction is that sometimes you're wanting more.
Hmm.
But the build up was really, really good.
Yeah. Well, and that is why at the bottom of this, you can go to Deborah Tiller's website, deborah.tiller.com, and go get more. You can find
Hmm.
out other stuff she wrote. And so, I'm just going to read it out because I
Yeah,
think we forgot last week to really highlight who the
yeah,
author
yeah.
was. Deborah Tiller is an archaeologist, a teacher, and a freelance travel and food writer whose historical and speculative fiction appears and is upcoming in several print anthologies and online journals such as Pebbles in the Sand, Esoterica, Barbar Shortlist, Imperium, Bookends Review, and among others.
You said pebbles in the sand. It's pebbles on the strand. Just
Oh,
to to correct you there, but all good. Follow her at DeborahTiller.com. You're like pebbles go in sand. That's very acceptable.
well, I actually went on autopilot of reading too because I was like,
Yep,
pebbles in the sand. I
pebbles in the
like
sand.
that. What
Yep.
does that even mean? Hmm.
Alrighty. So our next one is of unknown colossi, and I really liked the choice of imagery that you popped at the top of this
Oh,
one.
thank you.
It was really, really good.
Yeah, the images that go with the titles, by the way, are kind of like a little bit of like, oh, now I've lost all my words,
Uh-huh.
where you're hinting about an outcome of a story. I can't remember what that's called now. Yeah, anyways.
We're just writers. We're not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
we're
like we do
writers, but we don't need to
words.
know what all the things are called.
No,
There's so many things.
it's good.
But yeah, it's like hinting as to what is happening in that story.
Yep.
I want to say foreplay, but I know it's not that.
Yeah.
And now foreplay is stuck in my head.
Which is
So
really funny because like when you look at this, I think, oh, Jack and the Beanstalk, you've got
yeah.
giants and things like that. But I would say this story is so not written by giants. The word usage in this, it's I am glad that I'm not doing voiceover for the magazine. I like that. That being said, this would be fun to play around with, but
Hmm.
this is definitely a story where you are chewing the gristle of language.
Hmm.
There was definitely a relationship with a thesaurus during this story.
Speaking of foreplay,
So yeah, do not try and read this story unless you're strapped in and you're ready to
ready.
go because
Yeah.
this is yeah, it uses all of your brain,
Yeah.
we'll
Well, and
say.
that's why the story went so well with the other one
Yeah.
because one is more straightforward, clean. This is the action. This is what is happening.
Yes.
This one is more of a thinking story where you're really pondering and chewing and going through it a couple times maybe to figure out like and then it reveals like onions, like
Yes.
an onion
Yeah.
to
So
give you that
yeah, a
meaning.
lot more lyrical, a lot
Hmm.
more. I'm gonna say it reads almost like poetry
Yeah.
in its symbolism,
Hmm.
and goes from there. So
Yeah. Well, and that's why for the magazine, for the publishers and the editors, it's a good idea. It's when your story doesn't make it, it might not be that the story is perfect, but we have to think of it in the way the pattern is going together for
Yes.
all the stories.
Yeah, you need a
So
balance.
yeah, sometimes you have to have the darker and the lighter. You notice we always end on a funnier one
Yeah.
to kind of leave you happy. We don't want you to leave sad
Yeah,
after you read the issue.
it's kind of like cooking. You've got different ingredients
Yeah.
that end up making a magazine of full bodied flavor. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sometimes you need spice, sometimes you need like a little bit of vinegar.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of goes like that. But
Yeah.
overall, what did you think of this story?
Oh, I love this story, and I'm gonna be completely upfront. At my first read through, I was like, "Huh?" But like I said, it peels through in layers of like, "Oh, wait a second," and then I'd go back. But that's the beautiful thing I love about it is it would not leave me. It was sticky, is how I always think of it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't leave me, and I kept having to return to it
Uh-huh.
and dig into it more to understand. And then the last line, which I guess you're going to see it in a second, but you're not going to know what it means until you go through the whole thing. That last line really kind of stuck it for me, where it was like the whole story. I'm kind of like, but why? But why? And that's what they're doing in the story. Like you're kind of questioning with the people in the story until you get to that last, and then it kind of just hits like in the most I want to say esoteric, but that's not the right word. Apparently, I have no words. I think the guy drilling outside of our door took all my words,
Uh-huh.
but just kind of that existential. That's the word
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Just in the most existential.
Yeah.
Really glad I didn't read this as a teenager because I would have been like,
Going through some crises.
what's the point?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a great
But
story.
that's the thing is sometimes it's good to question those things because it does alter your perception of the world and what is the
Yeah.
point of anything,
Yeah.
which is freeing in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really awesome. So this was written, so An Unknown Colossi, written by Chris Nelson, who teaches at a Montessori school in Seattle, sometimes fails to be funny, sometimes, is learning American Sign Language and has published his idealistic metaphysical philosophy in the Journal of Consciousness Studies. His short fiction has appeared in Andromeda Spaceways, Speculative North, Beyond the Bounds of Infinity, and elsewhere. So, sometimes funny. I like that. Sometimes fails to be funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and check out Chris Nelson. Really, really interesting, a different perspective. Definitely adult written at a higher level. So if you're
Gonna make
looking,
you ponder.
yeah, if you're looking for stories that challenge you, definitely check out Chris Nelson's stuff. Really, really awesome. Alrighty.
That's it. Next
think
week
that
we'll
is
be
it.
back. We'll be back with some poetry. We'll be talking about some poets, and we will have 2 more stories to go through to really dig into.
All right. Well, we love your faces. Thank you, everybody, for turning out, and we will see you next week.
Time, yeah, and thanks for reading Space and Time.
All right. Catch you later, guys.